Hey, honey.
Hey Tim, how you doing? Uh checking the checking out the sound and everything. How's it sound okay? You're Richard Milley. How do you pronounce that? Millie or Mill or RM? Hi Michael. Oh, you're back in the jungle. Hey Junior, how you doing? Just for the holiday. Just for Thanksgiving? Good grief. Thanksgiving's coming up pretty quick, isn't it? You guys can hear me all right? This week and next week. And then back to back to work. Okay. I guess the sound must be okay because sounds good. Thanks, Junior. That's what I was waiting for. Hi, Brian. Um, Junior, I just remembered something. Um, they have these vices for watches for and watchmaking, and you can do a lot of stuff. You can put the instead of having to hold the case or the movement and so forth, and then work with your other hand. You can simply put it in the vise and hold it for you, and then work from there. So this is in relationship to uh, our project that we're going to have stuff about Monday. Hi, Velvia Man, Chili Burger. How you guys doing? Good evening. I don't know why good evening it somehow always sounds like what's his name? Hitchcock. Hey, Richard. How are things in Spain? David, how are you? Oh, Richard. Ah, okay, thank you. Richard. Hey, Tim, how do you like your Richard? Hey, Ming Springer. Good to hear. Okay. Today still unusually warm. Where are you, Richard? Oh, in Spain still. In southern Spain or northern Spain? Valencia. Hi, Eric. Southern Utah. Yeah, we had a couple days that were for us a warm day is in it gets up to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Hi, Mike. Thanks. Yeah, Watchfinder had us as a good deal. I think so. Um, yeah, there's, that was one thing. There you go. That's something I'm very thankful for here at Thanksgiving. Um, yeah, I was thinking about that, what are we doing this for? We have to like something. And I found a number of things. The one is that there's so many things about mechanical watches that you can get into. In other words, it's sort of like an endless puzzle. And then once you get one part of it figured out, you say, well, I wonder how this part works, or I wonder how this works, or I wonder how this kind of watch is, and so on and so forth. That was one thing. It's sort of like this always sort of like having a present that just keeps opening our like those Russian stacking dolls. You put out one and there's always something else. Another thing is would be the community. I tell you, I think the watch collecting community is one of the most important things for at least for me for watch collecting. There are a lot of people that we can communicate with about it all the time, rather rather than talking to our dog or our 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 spouse or someone. So those are the things that I think are really cool. Okay, that's how about you guys? Hey, Washington, Southeast Washington, D.C. I don't know Washington, D.C. that well. The last time I was there, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, I met with, my son and his wife were there. We just had a meetup, and it was sort of fun. Hey, David, RGM, posted today in Instagram that they're helping bring the Cornell Watch Company back with a micro rotor movement, Schwartz ETN AE ASC 200, finished by RGM. I asked them. Very cool. You know, speaking of the Schwartz ETN ASC 200, there's another one that's probably very much like it. I think it's called the 222 or the 220, the ASC, and then they have an MSC 111. And they're both, I mean, if you want to make your own watch, they have there's a division where you can get that movement. Now, the thing about that movement that is so cool that I really like, you can get it in two different varieties. One is the automatic, and the automatic has a little micro rotor in it. The other one, the case, the base for both watches is identical, except one has a rotor, and then the second one, instead of having a rotor, it has two barrels. Well, having two barrels is one thing, but their two barrels are in parallel. And so it's sort of a neat way to get a very, very nice sort of a constant force element in a watch. And so I think it's very exciting that because I've always liked their movement that they had, and now they have you can have people who want to get together and make their own watches. This might be another way to do it. I'd be interested in sort of how their pricing goes and everything else. Um, hey, Graham, how you doing? How are things out on Guernsey? Yeah, Michael, I believe somewhere that we would have world peace if just the watch collectors. Well, we'd have war. We'd have different kind of wars. I'll put it that way. But watch collectors seem to have we get along internationally and everything else. I mean, if you have like 2 people who like the same watch. It doesn't matter where they're from. They seem to get along pretty well. Hey, Eric. Yeah, Langenheim. Albert. Ooh, you have an Albert. Those are nice ones. I really like Langenheim. Hi, Donald. Alexander. Well, neighbor, you're late, neighbor. I'm coming over there. Oh, wow. Velvia, man, that's nice. See, the mainspring, thankful for the variety of watches available in the market for the last less than $3,000. Yeah. Hey, Mark. Hi, just Tom. Just Tom. Absolutely not. That's the answer. Um, no, the thing is, it's also hard to believe there are more than I want. There's always that thing. Well, I got enough watches to last anybody a lifetime. And then, oh, I think I found another one. Always find another one. Oh, football fan. It was worth it. It was worth it. Having a excuse me, having a Hebdo Madari, I always say that wrong, is a great watch. Hebdo is the way to say it. That's funny. Hi, Annabelle. Oh, that is nice. Yeah, that is a nice one, Annabelle. Hey, Thomas. How you doing, man? Good to see you again. Oh, the Mainspringer. This is sort of the art and science. When we talk about higher beats, the I forgot what a quartz beats at. A quartz beats at something like, you know, it's just, it's on some order of hertz. I mean, something like some thousand hertz. Now, even a high beat on a mechanical watch is only 5 hertz. And so the question is, why and why do I like it? Why do I like the lower beats? Well, there are a lot of reasons. Um, One, I still think, but and I could be wrong. I have a lot of watches that are very accurate, and they're the lower beats. This one is 3 hertz. My Urban Jurgensen. The Both of my FP Jorns are 3 hertz. The Langenheim is 2.5 hertz. That's 18,000 dph. So, one thing with the lower rate, the lower frequency, you're not beating up your parts as much for one thing. So there greater time between visits to the I don't know, I would call the watch doctor, to the services, to have services. Another reason is I think one thing. What's his name? Rex Heppy. I asked him about that. And he said you could, on the slower ones, you can see the movement. In other words, you can see this wonderful mechanism that he spent a lot of time making look beautiful. So that's why I like him. Now, um, if I had to, let's say, have a contest for a month and compare the 5 hertz to 2.5 hertz, 5 hertz would probably turn out better, but over time it may not. So that's and that's why, when you see all of these top watchmakers, why do they have the lower hertz? Those are some of the reasons, I think. Okay, so there. Hey, Richard, surprised to find that we'll have their GPH I will have 3 GPH winners. Oh, yeah, that's nice. That is a nice thing. I have trying to think. My, Chronomet Cervane is one. My other one is my Felix, Harboring 2 Felix. I don't know if I have any other ones or not, but yeah, that's sort of a fun thing to have. This, Sign oh, yeah, the Bel Canto, that's right, it won the Audacity Prize. Oh, wait, no, it won the, either the Petite Aiguille or the Challenge. I forgot which one it won, but it won one of those. And then a clock that won the Audacity Prize. Yeah, that was unusual. For the 1950 Omega Seamaster that I inherited. Oh, that's a very neat one, Tom. Hey, David. Court, there you go. Thanks, David. 32,000. We got so I got a high beat. I got 5 hertz. This guy Quartz has got 32,768 hertz. It's hard to really do much, is it? Hey, Chili. Oh, thanks, man. Hey, Lee, how you doing? Hello, Paul. Late's okay. Graham, what have you got? Got out my grandfather's old pocket watch today. Beats at 1800. A lot of the older ones do. 18,000 actually, probably made it in 1950 and has lost a minute during the day. Possibly never been serviced. Yeah. Um, I don't know what happened to my old Quartz. I can't. I think the case froze. Got some of the battery gum in there and froze it up. Um, oh, let's see. You know, um, hey, Rancher, thankful that the downturn is leading some of the carpetbaggers out of the hobby. Yeah, some of them are going to prison too, I think. Can't beat a chug with a stick. Like most people, gifted was gonna have a unique special meaning. Yeah, that's true. Trying to think. My brother got all my dad's watches, and I'm glad he did. I think because he didn't have very much watches. I sent him some, but yeah, there's one of the things I suppose there was if we could have a slightly less expensive hobby, that'd be nice. And as Rancher pointed out, well, things are coming down. Yeah, I was looking today at I had something somewhere was recorded what I had spent on these watches, and it wasn't as much as I thought. I had some watches that were very inexpensive that went up, but I mean, I have no plans on ever selling them. They're ones that I got because I got. Yeah, Paul, I tell you, to me, that's the best part about it, is meeting a whole bunch of other people. The other part of that is I've learned so much from a lot of different people, that they have stuff that we can all learn from each other. And I think that's a lot of fun. I mean, I, when I was much, much younger, I had stamp collections and coin collections and collections like that. And I think I had one friend who was a stamp collector, and we'd, compare stamps and stuff. But a lot of people, they go to conventions and they do a lot of other things. When I used to fly, one of the nice things about flying was getting together with groups who also flew and doing things with them and stuff like that. Yes, yeah, very good, Alex. You met Paul. In fact, there's a picture of you guys together. Yeah, my grandkids have plans, that's true. Yeah, that was one of the neat things. That was why I go every year. I make it a point to go to the Watch Time show in New York. Beside the, you know, the and I'll put it this way: quote, free booze, free food. Um, it's not exactly, but sort of. Now they have, I guess, if you get a ticket to the cocktail party, you get tickets to all 3 days. Um, that's sort of fun. Yeah, you Butcher, the thing about Butcher, David, that I like is that they sort of have I don't know what they've done with it, but they bought a company called THA, which was founded by FP Jorn and V&E Halter and some of these other guys who are just tip-top watchmakers. And there may have been something, they may have got some of that when they got it, and that may have been passed on to Butcher. That it's these kinds of things I think are knowing relationships and so forth that go on. Earlier today, I was talking to a guy, put it that way, who bought a dandy, a Chaumet dandy. He absolutely loves it, and so he's showing it to me, and I looked at it. I thought, my God, I've never seen this one before. It's called the Dandy Slim. And I contacted the guys at Agenor. I said, well, because it had the little Ferris wheel instead of the second hand, and it's just the coolest watch. And so I thought, well, I'll go see if they have any more. There were none, no more were available. They were all gone. And I thought that, wow, somebody can latch on to a really interesting watch at a not very much price. Yeah, meeting Rancher, that's a great experience, Lee. That was- Hello from South Florida by way of the University of Kansas. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Okay. Oh, I didn't. Well, now, David, I think there are different butchers. There's Butcher, the retailer, and then Butcher, the watch company, and I may have mispronounced or misspelled one or both of them. I can pretty well depend on mispronouncing them. I do try, but I can't get them all right. Hi, Joseph. How you doing, man? If you have a collection of watches, a time grapher removes your nagging doubt with respect to performance. Something like 20 and 20,000 quid watches, both excellent buys. Oh, are they really, Nate? I didn't know that. I thought they were two different outfits. They could. I I know a lot of people were very excited about the fact, excited in one way or another, that Rolex had bought them. And I think here in the US, Butcher bought, I think, Tomei or something like that, which was I think that was the one they bought. And so they're now Butcher, I guess, or they left the Tonei or Tonei, something like that name. So that's good to know. Oh, really? How interesting, Nate. That would be interesting. I know they got rid of their Cellini line, or most of it anyway, and then they came out with that new one that they stuck the, silicone hairspring in. It's like I think Darth Vader finally got to him, and they went over to the dark side. Tenno, yeah, that's the one, Nate. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, they're sort of an interesting, I don't know, they're sort of like a supermarket of watches, and I that's sort of an interesting thing. I think more and more companies, especially your top level ones, are going to their own boutique. If you live near New York and can get into New York City, you can go to all of these great boutiques they have. Uh, from Most of them are up on Fifth Avenue and Madison Avenue, and except for FP Jordan, they moved all the way down to the almost down to the tip on this little street called, I think it's called Mercer or something like that. But all of the rest of them are up on. You got to get an appointment with them now anyway. And then they don't have any watches. Yeah, the 1908 Rancher. That's exactly the one I was talking about. Yeah, I know. I know. They had Nate. I agree. They have their own. That Parachrome is a very, very, very good hairspring. I mean, they act like the hairsprings with the transitional metals, like the Parachrome and the Strawman, don't work. They work just fine. I mean, in terms of being non-magnetic and keeping their form and everything. I still think that at some point it's just flat out cheaper using silicon, not for the materials, but for the production. Supposedly, they said, "Oh, it costs a lot more," and so forth. The development may have. I mean, they may have gone through a lot of development costs, but I don't think I worked with silicon a whole lot, and I don't think the they come out in sheets. You get a sheet of these things, and all these little things, punch them out. Hey, David. One thing Boucher, the watch brand, has that I really like, per peripheral rotors. Yeah, they give you a clear. Yeah, that is a good thing. That's, peripheral rotors, micro rotor. You know what I don't like about micro rotors? If you've ever seen a watch with micro rotors, even my favorite watch, is the one I have from, Van Cleef& and Arpels, uh, the, uh the Air DC Allure d'Hier, which means time here and time elsewhere. That one, it's got this beautiful movement to it, 2 jumping hours and a retrograde minutes and everything I like. But I noticed that when you put in a micro rotor, it's sort of you have to have a smaller balance wheel. I like big balance wheels. And on the other hand, the peripheral rotor doesn't do that because you have the same real estate as though you have no without that normally you have without a rotor, and so you can have a larger balance wheel. Yeah, yeah, me too. Every time I put that thing on, the Reek One is that it keeps super accurate time, and it's it's just a great watch. One of the things, where's Michael? Is Michael still here? I hope we can talk about Michael. Michael said, "Well, how come you don't wear this watch more?" And I told him it's one of the watches I could wear every day, the Urban Jurgensen. And I said, because I have so many other ones I could wear every single day and be happy with them. And it's like that's not a problem so much as it is just, I suppose, stupid to have sort of an embarrassment of riches. But Michael's solution. Michael, are you here? He can't hear this. So anyway, but Michael's solution is, well, you should have one for breakfast, one for lunch, and one for dinner. That makes sense. Hey, Hader and Graham, second, third, fourth. We wear the mask. Have you ever seen the watch from Pages with the tent escapement and a balance wheel, I think, almost as big as a case? Oh, yes. From Raul Pajas, I guess how you pronounce it. I'm not even sure. Yes, that is magnificent. I agree. Mm-mm-mm. You do that, rancher. You have an urban Jurgensen too, so you're the one. Well, in fact, you could wear be the rhinestone cowboy with that platinum watch you've got. Ah, it's time to go. Yes, according to my watch, it is. Hey, listen, guys, thank you. For those of you in the US, have a happy Thanksgiving. In fact, everybody can have a happy Thanksgiving. You don't have to be in the US. And so on Monday, I'm going to have remember, we talked about having a project where we're going to make I think it's a $22,000 Brigade Classique. And I think it's going to cost us 83 bucks. I got it all ready to go. So we're going to talk about getting the parts on Monday at the on our what's my call it on the can't remember the name of anything anymore. The Vest Pocket series we've got. Okay, let's see. Let's say goodbye to everyone. Nate, you got to see, what are you going to do with your collection when you get older? Do you pass them on? Kids aren't interested in them. No, what I'm going to do at some point, I'll sell them, and the kids would much rather have all the money. Hey, Owl 29, you better. That's true. There's also the Antoine Martin slow runner with a huge balance. Yeah, that's the 1 hertz one. Okay, guys, take care, be safe, and hasta luego.